Yes, jag pratar här. Jag pratar i den här lilla. Hörs det någonting när jag pratar? Så. Toppen. Nej, jag har bara det. Okej, nu sa de att det funkar. Det funkar. Ja, jag håller den. Hur nära tror du att hålla den? Ja, jag lägger den lite så. Bara med tummen.
Välkomna hit till årets tillkännagivande av Nobelpriset i litteratur. I'd like to welcome you to the announcement of the Nobel Prize laureate in literature for the year 2023. We're now waiting for the clock to strike one. Then Permanent Secretary of the Academy, Professor Mats Malm, will announce the Nobel Prize laureate in literature this year. Then the chair of the Nobel Committee, Professor Anders Olsson, will present the Nobel laureate and his or her authorship. After the presentation, Professor Olsson and committee member Anne Svärd will be available for short interviews, and they will take your questions individually according to this list I have. A biography and several works by the laureate will be displayed on the table behind you on my right hand. And finally, please make sure to mute your phones. Thank you.
Ja, efter det här, om några minuter så kommer Mats Malm ut här genom dörren och sen så ska Anders Olsson också prata lite grann och sen så är det, ja, det är fullt mediapådrag här med folk från hela världen i princip, nyhetsbyråer och media från Kina, Tyskland, Polen har jag sett och hela den svenska mediekåren. Och vi ska stå på kö i princip för att prata med ledamöter som jag har sett kommer här och står bakom kamerorna nu och sitter på rad och väntar in. Mats Malm, precis som vi andra. Vi tar där med runt.
Varmt välkomna till Svenska Akademin. Jag heter Mats Malm och är akademins ständiga sekreterare. Akademin har just sammanträtt och kan presentera sitt beslut om vem som tilldelas årets Nobelpris i litteratur. Very welcome to the Swedish Academy. My name is Mats Malm, I'm the permanent secretary. The Academy has convened and can now announce its decision on the Nobel Prize in Literature. Nobelpriset i litteratur år 2023 tilldelas den norska författaren Jon Fosse för hans nyskapande dramatik och prosa som ger röst åt det otsägbara. The Nobel Prize in Literature for 2023 is awarded to the Norwegian author Jon Fosse for his innovative plays and prose which give voice to the unsayable. Jag har just kunnat tala med Jon Fosse på telefon. Det är inte alltid som jag blir trodd när jag ringer upp på det här sättet. Men han var beredd att lita på mig åtminstone fram till nu. Han var ute och körde bil vid sitt sommarställe norr om Bergen vid Sognefjord. Han lovade att köra hem försiktigt och se på tillkännagivandet. Vi har börjat tala om praktiska ting och om Nobelveckan i december. I've just spoken to Jon Fosse on the phone. Not every laureate believes me when I make the call, but he was prepared to have confidence until 1 o'clock. He was driving on the countryside at Sognefjord, north of Bergen in Norway, and we had the opportunity to start speaking about practical matters and the Nobel Week in December. Jag lämnar nu ordet till Nobelkommitténs ordförande Anders Olsson som kommer att berätta om pristagaren. Därefter kommer han och Nobelkommittéledamoten Anne Svärd att svara på frågor i individuella intervjuer. I now give the floor to Anders Olsson, chair of the Nobel Committee. He will present the laureate, and after that, he and member of the Nobel Committee, Anne Svärd, will answer questions in individual interviews. Thank you.
Welcome to this press conference on the Nobel Prize Laureate of Literature 2023. My name is Anders Olsson, Chairman of the Nobel Committee. The other members of the Nobel Committee that have prepared this year's Nobel Prize in Literature are Ellen Mattsson, Steve Sandberg, Anne Svärd, and Per Westberg. Our co-opted committee member has been Mats Malm, Permanent Secretary of the Swedish Academy. After my presentation of the laureate's work in English, my colleague in the Nobel Committee, Anne Svärd, and I will take individual interviews. More information about our laureate can be found on the Academy's homepage, www.nobelprize.org. This year's Nobel laureate in literature, the Norwegian writer Jon Fosse, was born in 1959 in Haugesund on the Norwegian west coast. His huge oeuvre, spanning a variety of genres, comprises around 40 plays and a wealth of novels, poetry, collections, essays, children's books, and translations. While he is one of the most recognized and widely performed playwrights of our time, he has also been acclaimed for his novels, narratives, and poetry. Resembling his great precursor in nynorsk literature, Tarjei Vesaas, Fosse blends a rootedness in the language and nature of his Norwegian background with artistic techniques in the wake of modernism. Samuel Beckett, Thomas Bernhardt, and Georg Trakl are some of his Wahlverwandtschaften. Fosse's international breakthrough as a playwright was Claude Régis' 1998 Paris production of his first and much performed play, Någon kjem til å komme, or in English, Someone is Going to Come. Even in this early piece, with its themes of fearful anticipation and crippling jealousy, Fosse's singularity is fully evident. In his radical reduction of language and dramatic action, he exposes human anxiety and ambivalence at its core. Other major achievements in his dramatic work are Namnet, Draum om hösten, and Dödsvariationer. In English, The Name, Dream of Autumn, and Death Variations. It is through his ability to evoke man's loss of orientation and how this paradoxically can provide access to a deeper experience close to divinity that Fosse has come to be regarded as an innovator not only in contemporary theatre. Fosse's magnum opus in prose is his septology in 3 books, completed in 2021, a 1,250-page monologue in which an elderly artist speaks to himself as another person. In English, the titles are The Other Name, I Is Another, and A New Name. The work progresses seemingly endlessly and without sentence breaks, but is formally held together by recurring themes and ritual gestures of prayer in a time span of 7 days. The first section of the novel addresses the painting that Asle, the narrator, has been unable to complete, but which is nevertheless dearest to him. This depicts 2 strokes, one purple and the other brown, in the form of a diagonal cross. It is as if this opening phrase draws together the different time layers of the work into a single infinite present. The painted cross also indicates the dominant doppelganger motif of the novel, Asle speaking with Asle at the moment of death. The septology is a major work, being at the same time Asle's attempt at reconciliation with his own fate, an elegy to his dead wife, and a Künstlerroman dealing with his own career as a painter. Fosse's sensitive language, which probes the limits of words, reveals the closeness of his relationship with poetry. This is obvious even in his first poetry collection, Engel med vatten I ögonen, from 1986, and in the recent edition of his collected lyrical works, Dikt I samling. Interestingly, Fosse has in recent years added to his long list of translations into nynorsk 2 modern lyrical classics, Georg Trakls Sebastian I Traum, 2019, and Rainer Maria Rilkes Duino Elegiac. Thank you very much for coming here, and now I will start the individual interviews with my colleague Anne Svärd. Thank you.
原来好的益生菌真的可以帮助入睡。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌是国家认证 AB 克菲尔益生菌，含7种有身份证的专利活菌，能产生伽巴、色氨酸等助眠因子，难怪吃了更快入睡，也睡得更好。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌也是台湾市场上唯一添加克菲尔乳杆菌 M1 的产品。这是由台湾知名的大学季转，对季节敏感、调整体质的朋友真的是一大福音。还有这支还添加被称为超级食物的羽衣甘蓝萃取物，不少研究都指出十字花科蔬菜有助抗炎及防癌，像是羽衣甘蓝含有高量的叶黄素、贝塔胡萝卜素、维生素 K、维生素 C、叶酸等丰富营养素。太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌专利制成，无塑化剂、无重金属、无人工添加物、无410项农药、无香料调味剂、无防腐剂、无色素，7大保证、7大认证，觉得好安心。 每日克菲尔时刻美好 ，Good Feel Feel Good，快点购下单！太阳星全效克菲尔益生菌。